Hello, welcome back to another video. So we're back in the workshop doing a bit of wrenching this Easter weekend. So yeah, I've got a B74.2 to wire up for a customer mate of mine, so I'll show you that in a minute. And doing a little bit of work on the other cars and kind of getting a few of them set up ready for the outdoor season, as we're kind of switching from carpet now back to a bit of AstroTurf. So hopefully I'll get over to Eden Park and some of the tracks in the south, maybe Surrey and Hants, and maybe for a bit of a blast. And just want to say a big thank you to Shawnee RC for donating a shell to the B6.4, so that looks wicked all painted up, so better than the Juan Can Wonder there, so that's cool. So that looks really, really smart. I'll show you that in a minute. So that's just going to be a sort of a outdoor car where I don't want to get the wheel speeds all covered in crap, and for the kids to have play with as well. So that's got a big thanks to that. And if you haven't checked it out, check out Shawnee RC. Does some really wicked content over on the Isle of Wight, plus obviously in the south as well, and travels all around doing his RC stuff. So he's got a wicked channel, so go and check it out. So yeah, I'll go and show you what we're working on today. Right, so here we've got a customer's B74 that he's just bought. So he bought this used, so it's got quite a few nice bits on it. It's got the alloy hubs and a couple other bits and bobs, but this is for a sort of customer and mate, so Dimitri, a local racer, so lots of people know him. So yeah, basically wants me to rewire his car. So we've got all this to make look pretty. So he's got a Hobby Wing XR10 Pro, which we'll get in there somewhere and make it all look nice. Got to find a home for this Rudog fan as well, so we'll sit that somewhere behind there and just take that behind the motor because there's no mount there at the moment. And then we've got one of the SMD receivers to pop down there, and again we'll shorten up all the cables as well. So yeah, we'll hopefully make this all nice and pretty. I'll sort of show you through the stages as we go along. You know, it's obviously a bit difficult filming and soldering at the same time, but I'll do my best and try and sort of show you the process. But the motor wires, as you can see, are certainly long enough to do a neat job there, but we're going to have to replace these battery wires. They're a different gauge wire as well, which my OCD doesn't allow me to fit. So we've got 13 gauge there and 12 gauge there, so we'll fit some 12 gauge wire on the battery side of things, and then obviously get those neatly around there and away from the spur gear. Obviously want to tuck that capacitor down there out the way as well. So anyway, that's today's job. So we'll hopefully make a nice job, and this is going to be his nationals car, so we want it to look pretty as well. Anyway, I'll show you the process as we go through. And here's the 6.4, so it's got kind of carpet stuff on it at the minute, but we'll get all the roll bars off of it and tires, etc. But there's the famous Shawnee RC body shell, which he's donated to the course. So big thanks for that. He didn't want any money for it, so really, really kind of him to donate this to the kind of boys outdoor car, which is cool. So yeah, it's an awesome paint job. So yeah, it looks absolutely brilliant. Nice and easy to see out on track as well. So there we go. So one day when he's a famous YouTuber, this will certainly be worth something. I'll have to get him to sign it as well one day, as he's a bit of a superstar, our Sean. The postman's been, what have we got in here? Let's have a quick look. Ah, there we are. A bull race steering rack for the Yokomo YZ4. So we'll just grab that off the shelf and quickly do this before we get on to doing the wiring, because well, it looks a nice cool blingy bit, doesn't it, to put on the car. And it's also got some more additional Ackerman holes in it as well. So let's get it out of the pack, get it fitted. Right, so there's the stock steering rack. It does the job fine, you know, it's strong enough, never broke or anything, but it's just basically running on bushes in here on the bell crank, so there's a bit of slop and slack, as you can see. So hopefully with the RDRP one, it takes that away and also give us a few more options on tuning the car as well. So let's get this taken apart and get the new one on. Right, so there's the before, so that's the old carbon steering rack out, and there's the new one. So that looks very smart, doesn't it? It kind of matches in with the ESC and the kind of silver and black theme. But anyway, a lot less slop in the steering now, so the slop's really just coming from the ball cups, and these ones are new. So yeah, it's loads better, really nice and free and accurate as well. And it'll be nice to play with the extra Ackerman adjustment we've got there as well, which is something I want to try when I'm next out as well. So there we go, just a quick little update on the Yokomo YZ4. I'll just get that in focus. There we go. So there's the beastie. So we'll hang this back up on the wall, and then we're going to crack on with Dimitri's B74.2. So I've just replaced the positive and negative wires to 12 gauge, so it's all matching now on the ESC. So what we're going to do now is just get the ESC taped down in position with the capacitor snuck down the side there, and obviously make sure we have clearance for the steering bell crank, which we do, which is all good. So we'll get this taped down now, run the ESC wire under. There's a little notch in the chassis support there, so we'll get that run under there, and then we'll get the sensor lead run around here, and then get these soldered up, and then start routing the other stuff in a minute. But hopefully you'll see it will come together shortly. So one thing we're going to do is to hide the ESC wire. We're going to run it underneath the ESC, and then basically run a little channel of the servo through the servo tape there, so you can see that's where the lead's going to run through there, and then we've left a little channel in there for it to sit in, and the servo tape will sit over the top. So there you go. So you can see that's run under there quite neatly. So, you know, normally you can kind of run it around there and behind, which looks okay, but we're going to go for it to be a bit neater there. So we've got that run under the ESC and under this little tab, so we'll pop the slipper back in. And then, you know, lengthwise that's okay for the receiver, as you can see, where we're going to position that. And then obviously we've got a long old cable there which we need to lose a fair bit of, and again get that similar length just to get into the receiver there nicely. So next job is to run the sensor lead in, get that looking nice, maybe a bit, add the, you know, the heat gun to it, and kind of manipulate the wire, get it sitting nicely, and then we'll get the motor wires soldered on, and then that's the kind of ESC part done. So there's the installed the fans, just double side tape that down, but that's pretty solid. Heated up the what's it called, sensor wire, sorry, a bit tired today. Yeah, heated up the sensor wire, so that's laying quite flat now. Just soldered these all up, which are all quite neat and tidy, and just starting on doing the battery terminals now. So just put a bit of heat shrink on there for the positive, then we'll run this round and put it somewhere like that, but I'll show you once we've soldered it up in a moment. Oh yeah, one handy tip, if you haven't got a soldering station or whatever, or one of those holdy things, pair of pliers, elastic band, job's a good one. Alright, so there's the positive and negative done on the battery side of things, and we've obviously got enough cable there to move the battery forwards and backwards, and it's not going to hit the spur, as you can see. You can get like a plastic P-clip to bolt around there if you want to, but that's, you know, that's not going anywhere really the way we've done the wiring. So it looks quite neat. So next up we'll shorten this down and also do the same on the new PT which we have here, and as you can see it's got a huge great cable on it, so we'll shorten both of these down. I'll sort of show you the process in a moment. So we've just got the receiver loosely mounted. I plugged in the ESC and the fan just to get an idea of where everything's going to sit. So speaking with Dimitri, he would like the PT to be sat where are we, this way around, so something like that, tucked in there like that, if you can kind of see that. So that's what we're going to go for. So I've just put a kink in the wire where we're going to cut that, so it sits in there nicely with not too much cable showing. And again, I'll do the same on the steering servo here. So I just, again, these cables are quite stiff on these reedy servos, so I'll just heat this up with a heat gun, get it a bit more pliable, get it into position where we want the wire to loop over and into the receiver so it looks neat, and then we'll snip this off, and then I'll put the new plugs on with the crimping tool. So we'll get on with that in a minute. Now going back now, just snip them off and snip that off as well. So we'll get the plugs on now. So this is the kit we'll use. So just these are the little, if that'll focus, the little pins that go in to the crimping device. So we'll strip the wires back, then I'll hopefully grab a tripod and show you how it's done. So we've got the wires stripped back on the PT. We're going to do that first. So we'll just grab these, it's really hard to see, and obviously get this camera to focus. There we go. So yeah, there we go, so you can see that there. So yeah, basically we're putting the wire down the end of the connector here, and what I'll do is I'll pinch the wire in there so it stays there, then I'll put it in the crimping tool. So we'll just do that now, and I'll try and do it like so you can see it. So we'll pop that on there like that, if you can see that. And basically what you're, sorry chaps, this is a bit awkward. Right, so what you're basically aiming to do is to have the outer part of the plug actually crimping the insulation, and then the inner part of the connector there will cramp down onto the wire itself and obviously make the connection there. So what I'll do now is I'll just pinch this up with pliers just so we can hold it in position. I'm just going to try and do this on camera, but obviously I want to get it right. So I'll just pinch that up like so. So just gave that a pinch with the pliers so it won't go anywhere now. And then we're just going to grab the crimping tool and do that. So you'll see there I've marked in. So there's, you know, you basically you don't want to get it around the wrong way because it can snip the wires off, but have a practice before you do that. So we're basically going to place that in there and crimp it down. So we'll do that just now. Right, here we go. So we'll I'm doing this sort of upside down so you can see, but basically we're going to get that like so, line it up, give it a crimp, carefully take it out, and there we go. There is our crimped connector. So we'll do the other one and then I'll clip them in. All right, so that's the second one crimped. So we'll just get our servo plug now and basically just plug these in. So they just simply push in like that, and you'll push them in and hopefully you'll hear a little click like so, or maybe not. But yeah, basically give them a bit of a pull. What basically happens is that you've got these, hang on, my hands are all in the way. You've basically got these two little lugs here, and these basically flick up when you push the connector in, and this part of the connector stops the plug coming out. Just keep an eye out for that when you do it. So there's the servo all crimped up. This one's a bit trickier as the wires are a bit fatter than the PT one, so I sort of had to do a double crimp on it, which basically means that I did it first with the kind of wider setting, then did it a second crimp on this slightly tighter setting. And basically what that means is that you'll get a tighter crimp at that'll focus, a tighter crimp at the kind of wire end, so it'll do it a bit tighter. So yeah, anyway, we got it done. So we'll get the servo back in the car. Again, bit of heat on this cable to get it where we want it to, and then we'll get the everything taped down, and then that'll be the car done, and I'll sort of show you it finished up. Right, so there we go, that's it all finished up. So I'll go back to Dimitri, and hopefully he's happy with it. I'll send him a few pictures in a minute. But there we go. So it all looks quite neat and tidy, especially with all the biggest thing with these is really just taking your time, and the biggest impact is getting all the cables all shortened up. That really does neaten the car up a bit. So there you go, I'll sort of show over the top. So yeah, looks good. I'm going to get some pictures outside, and then that'll be one done. And I'll probably end up doing this two-wheel as well, so I'll show you that in another video. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed watching it. I hope you learned a few bits and pieces, you know, but the main thing is take your time, do all your measuring first, cut once, as they say, and yeah, hopefully you get a good result like that. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.